boyfriend have seen so many animals go in and out of our tiny trailer doors in Newport at this point that our house has earned the nickname the Ark and also the nickname the Farm. Currently we have 3 cats, a guinea pig, a mouse, a rat, a bird, and a turtle. So, are animals intelligent? Because of all the animals that I've seen come in and out of my doors, I've witnessed the intelligence of animals firsthand. But to many people, animals are insignificant creatures. In fact, it has been scientifically proven that animals have a higher level of intelligence than many people give them credit for. How else would they be able to learn basic commands, recognize sounds, sense situations, memorize puzzles, and memorize complicated mazes? And today we'll be discussing cats, dogs, rodents, the differences between them, and the studies that prove that they are intelligent. So, let's begin with cats. Now, the intelligence of cats is often dismissed. It's often overshadowed by dogs, who are thought to be more intelligent purely because they are able to take commands and be trained. But Dr. Barrett Brogard, in a study that he did in Psychology Today, said that cats actually have more nerve cells in their visual areas of their brain than humans do. In fact, the brain of a cat is 90% similar to ours, and they have 300 million neurons just in their cerebral cortex that controls thinking and all the senses, and that is twice the amount of dogs. Their cognitive processes are actually closer to humans than they are to other animals, including dogs and rodents. They have great long-term memories, not the best short-term memories. The short-term memory only lasts about 10 minutes, but you are able to train them. They don't learn commands like a dog, only because they're more independent creatures. They get bored if there's no immediate reward, but their cognitive mental capacity makes up for what they lack in trainability. They're able to assess and tune into their owner's emotions, and that kind of ability is often mentioned about them, but it's highly unappreciated. And cat senses are actually so keen that they're often emotionally responsive to the emotions of their human or their owner. And in the case of Amy Jung, as you see here with her cat Pudding, her rescue cat, they can also sense extreme distress and alert other humans. In a 2012 Huffington Post article, it told the story of Amy Jung. She's from Wisconsin, and her son went to the animal shelter one day and adopted this cat Pudding just on a whim, just because she saw him and decided to adopt him just for the fun of it. Well, hours later, Amy, who has diabetes, was sleeping, and she went into a diabetic seizure. The cat, who was awake, pounced on her chest, trying to wake her up. He licked at her face and nipped at her until she stirred. And when Amy couldn't call for help, Pudding actually meowed and made lots of noise. And when she didn't improve, Pudding ran into her son's bedroom, jumped on him until he woke up. And as soon as her son stirred, led him back to Amy's bedroom until he called 911. Since then, Pudding is now trained as a therapy cat for Amy, and he now sits at her feet and meows anytime that her blood sugar is low. So you see, cats can actually be trained like dogs to be therapy animals. Now, since cats and dogs are often compared to each other when you're talking about animal intelligence, we'll move on to dogs next. Now, the strengths of dogs lie in their sense of smell and also their intuition. They've been taught to sniff out drugs. They can be taught to sniff out bombs. Canines and dogs. Sniff out food, as a lot of TSA will do when they're going through your suitcases. They can also sniff out abnormal body chemistry, and that's why a lot of times you'll see dogs and they become agitated when an intruder comes in and they've got an unfamiliar scent going on. They're often trained with canine dogs, seeing eye dogs, therapy dogs, any kind of dog that you need. And their most obvious intelligence and their strength example is in their ability to learn commands. Dr. Stanley Craven, in a study he did for Psychology Today, calls this their work obedience intelligence, where cats are more visual learners, dogs are more auditory. They learn by listening. They do also learn by watching, but they also learn to listen. They learn by repetition and reward. They're easily taught commands. Each breed has different strengths, where cat breeds, you can tell the difference in them because they're different personalities. Dogs, you can tell by their instinctive intelligence. There's different breeds that track, they do fetching, they herd, they do companionship, but all breeds have a specific kind of strength. So that's dogs for you. They're easily trained. And now we'll take a look at rodents. Now rats are the most commonly studied rodents, and they're often seen as lab animals. In a report by Alistair Wilkins from io9.com, rats are actually found to be as good as humans at comparing stimuli to make unbiased decisions. This is a specific ability that's not easily observed in other animals outside of rodents. In a 2012 article, that's the time the article was written, it's actually the first time this kind of ability was seen in a species other than humans. Mice and rats are easily trained. They learn just the way dogs do through operant conditioning, and they learn to memorize mazes and obstacle courses to get the reward. There's no limit to their memory and decision making. They can sense danger in mazes. They're naturally cautious animals, and they know how to quickly assess a situation. They're empathetic, they're pack animals, and they're just generally very easy to train and very easy to tune in. So in conclusion, what has science proven? Many science and many studies have proven that different species are just as intelligent as humans. I've shown you studies in cats, rats, and dogs, and each animal's intellectual strengths, and hopefully you've learned something, because science has proven that animals are intelligent.